friends, it's Gwen. Welcome back to my channel. Today I'm here to talk all things Babysitters Club. The Babysitters was a huge part of my childhood. It's the book series that got me into reading alongside the Sweet Valley High series. I just love the Babysitters Club. It's what started me on my path working with children. At 13 I started babysitting my neighbors, and then that just branched out to other friends of my parents' children, and I just really enjoyed babysitting and like earning my own money and then being able to spend my own money on things that I wanted. Babysitters Club not only like gave me like a little bit of independence at a young age, but it also just like really made me love reading because I was so invested in the series and the characters, and they've just meant a lot to me throughout the years. You guys know I've been reading the graphic novels by Raina Telgemeier, and I've absolutely loved those. With the release of the new Netflix series, which I am literally so excited for because it's actually live now, I have been waiting to watch them until I read all of the books. Well, not all of the books, if you know what I'm saying, but basically I ordered the first 8 books, this little box set, the first 8 books, which starts off with Christy's Great Idea. And let me just go through the first 8 books with you. The first one is Christy's Great Idea. The second one is Claudia and the Phantom Phone Calls. And the third is The Truth About Stacy. And the fourth is Marianne Saves the Day. The fifth is Dawn and the Impossible 3. The 6th one is Christy's Big Day. Then we have Claudia and Mean Janine. And then we have Boy Crazy Stacy. Series that got me into reading. I absolutely love these. These girls did become my best friends. I wanted to be them. I wanted to be in their club. Like, it's just so nostalgic for me. But I haven't read these. I have read book 1. I mean, I've read all of these like way back in the day, but I haven't reread the originals. But I wanted to just flip through this. I kind of dog-eared a couple of things that I just wanted to point out that really makes me believe that this is a series that's going to stand the test of time. I'm not saying there's nothing problematic in this series, because there probably is. But I haven't found anything so far. I've just been hearing like and seeing and reading like good things. So I wanted to point some of those out, but if I do run across problematic content, I'll definitely share it with you. Also, can we appreciate that, like, I mean, Asians on a book cover, like back in the, like, what was it, 90s? Like, when were these originally? Yeah, 1986 this released. But let's look at that one, when this one released. This one was, yeah, 1986 Asian representation on the cover. This is a middle grade series that deals with like real life stuff, and it deals with it in such a like readable, easy to understand, follow, it seems normal way, like divorced parents and, you know, elderly people staying in your home, and, you know, responsibility and bad habits and just all of the things. So let's go through the first book. So what I'm gonna do is, and what the Netflix series did is that so like Christy's Big Idea is the first book. I read this one. I'm gonna watch the first episode, which is Christy's Big Idea. Then I will read the second edition and then watch the second edition on Netflix, and so on. So I'll read the third, I'll watch the third, and it actually, I think they have 10 episodes, and the last 2 episodes are like a part 1 and a part 2. So our main character, I always considered her the main character, Christy, even though each book kind of follows a different set. I feel like she's the president, and like she started the club, and she always felt like the main character to me, but I guess she's not. But in this one, since we're talking about Christy's Great Idea, she is the main character in this one. Her family is, her mom and dad are divorced. She lives in Stony Brook. Her dad moved out to California. She has 2 older brothers, Sam and Charlie. I think Sam is 14 and Charlie is 16. I'll come across it in here. She also has, Charlie is 16 and Sam is 14. And then of course there's David Michael, her younger brother, who is 6. And I think Christy's 12, or she just turned 12. And they also have their dog Louie. So her mom works, so her and Christy and her brothers have to take turns watching her younger brother David Michael after school. But they also have, they each watch him one day, and then the other 2 days her mom has hired another babysitter to watch David Michael on those days, so that they kind of get like, you know, a day off. So I really liked that. It also talks about, you get introduced to the other characters, obviously, and then her best friend Marianne is living like with her dad. Like, her mom died of cancer, and so she's just living with her dad, and her dad is super strict and always following all the rules. Like, she can't wear makeup, she can't, like, there's even a part in here like he doesn't want her to spend her money that she earns from babysitting on like a pizza party, like with her and her friends. And it's just kind of crazy to think that like she made that money, like why can't she spend it? But it deals with all of those things, like real things that are going to happen to girls this age. Then there's Claudia, who lives with, I believe she lives with her mom and her dad, but her grandmother also lives there as well. And she has an older sister named Janine, and they're like really polar opposites. Claudia is more of a like free spirit, creative type. She loves reading mysteries. She's really into art. She goes to art classes. Her sister is a genius. And it actually says in here, like, the genius IQs and stuff like that. And I guess it's like you're considered a genius if your IQ is 150 and hers is 195 or 192, something like that. So yeah, her sister's real smart, and it's kind of annoying because like Claudia's the complete opposite, and Janine also bothers like her friends because she's always correcting them and stuff like that. In the first book, we really don't know too much about Stacy because she's kind of like the new one to the group. Claudia's the one that, you know, Christy asks them, is there anybody else that you think we should invite to the group? And Claudia mentions Stacy, and they kind of say, well, we need to meet her. They meet in Claudia's room, and they do agree that like Stacy seems like a great fit.
It all started one Friday afternoon at the very beginning of 7th grade. I was walking home from school with my best friend, Marianne Spear. I was doing most of the talking, as usual. Fine. This is why you need to listen. And Marianne was patiently listening, also as usual.
It was boiling in there, like surface of Venus hot.
Okay guys, I just finished watching the first episode of the Babysitters Club on Netflix, and it was so cute. Like, I actually teared up and got emotional watching it. Finished the second book, Claudia and the Phantom Phone Calls. And in this issue, the girls are dealing with a possible phantom caller. There has been a phantom caller burglar that has been calling residents in different towns, and it's like on the news and in the media. He's calling the house and hanging up without saying anything, and then he's burglarizing the home, stealing jewelry and stuff like that. Alright friends, I just finished watching the second episode of the Netflix series Claudia and the Phantom Phone Calls, and the major differences were that this focuses much more on the phantom calls, and it leads up to the Halloween hop at the end of the story. And in the TV show, the Halloween hop happens like right in the beginning, and the phantom caller isn't really revealed a lot. A lot of the girls don't go on jobs in the second episode like they do in the book. And it did, like, Claudia was the main character in the second episode just like in the book, but it didn't go as much into depth. So like any book to movie adaptation, I highly recommend you read the book for more details and to see how it was originally intended. But I do think that the show really sticks to like the main points, and even though they may be like in and out of order, I still think it's just like a really wholesome series overall, and I'm really enjoying it. They're only an hour a piece, so it goes by super fast. I did finish reading let's see, The Truth About Stacy, the third book in the Babysitters Club series, and I really enjoyed this one just like all the rest. This one heavily is focused on a older group of girls that kind of steal the idea of the Babysitters Club and make the Babysitters Agency, and they're kind of rivaling the Babysitters Club because the girls in the agency are older so they can stay out later, and also the Newtons just had a newborn, so they're wanting someone a little bit older to watch her. But the thing is that the girls are not as responsible about babysitting as the younger girls are, and a lot of crazy things start happening, and the girls in the Babysitters Club are trying to be respectful and understand, but at the same time, like, they don't want the kids put in any danger, so they have to like stand up and tell the parents and all of that. It's really, really interesting. I like how it's handled. This one is of course told from Stacy's point of view, and I really liked it. It also talks more about her diabetes and her old school and her doctors and stuff like that, and how she really has to kind of take control of her own path as far as diabetes, and she has to stand up to her parents, and like how she reaches out to one of the parents of someone that she babysits and says like, hey, can you help me convince my parents that this is crazy and stuff like that. Like, it just deals with a lot of great topics. I am here with my final update of my Babysitters Club reading vlog. It's like a read of one of my favorite childhood series. This is the series that got me into reading. It's a series that has stuck with me since childhood, and I have such a nostalgic attach to these characters and this story. It basically set me on my path in life. Like, it's the reason why I wanted to work with kids myself. It's the reason that at 13 years old, I started babysitting for the first time. I went from babysitting to nannying to teaching, and I still work with kids that are like 4 and 5 years old. So it means so much to me, and I just want to wrap up like a few final thoughts about the series. The Netflix show is extremely different, but it feels very nostalgic and very like updated and almost like better because it's current, and it deals with like topics that are really important to our young like adults today. So it just makes me so happy. I can't even explain it to you guys. So the first thing I want to say is that in the series and the Netflix show, you will find a wide range of characters that come from all different type of backgrounds in terms of like race, religion, family structure, and stuff like that. And I think that's what made the series, even back in the day, like so strong, is you did get to see Black characters, Japanese characters, and although like looking back you may think they're like tokenized or whatever, in the Netflix series they added even more. So you definitely have to check out the Netflix series if you haven't. Each episode is about an hour, and it just goes so fast, and you just want to like completely binge it. I don't know if you know, but it was originally supposed to be a 4-book series. So these were the original 4 slated books. Christy's Great Idea, which follows Christy Thomas, our president of the Babysitters Club. This one is Claudia and the Phantom Phone Call. So this was Claudia's book. And then we have The Truth About Stacy, which is Stacy's book. And then we have Mary Ann Saves the Day, which is Mary Ann's book. So these are the 4 original members of the Babysitters Club, and they were supposed to be the only 4 books in the series. But because of its popularity, it turned into this gigantic juggernaut that it is. There are spin-off series and everything. There's over like 200, I think in the back it tells you, 131 of the regular series. Then there's the super specials, and there are 15 of those. The mysteries, and there's 36 of those. Super mysteries, there's 4. Friends Forever, there's 12. And then the Friends Forever specials, there's 2. So I think it's like 231 books of this like whole series, and I definitely want to look for more. I don't know if I'll buy more new, like I probably will if I can't find any, but I do want to go to my local book exchange and just see if they have any, because I'm just like, oh, I'm so nostalgic for this. And I do have the, let me find them, here they are right here. I have this version as well, and I've read all of these and I've loved all of these. And the first one is Christy's Great Idea. So my, how times have changed. And then we have Claudia and Mean Janine, which is this one. Let me see. And then Marianne Saves the Day. All right. Marianne Saves the Day. And then let me see. So, and I definitely do want to collect more of these and more of these. But I definitely recommend, if you are interested in the Netflix series, that you like go back and read the original source material, because it's just as strong. What I will say about the book series over the Netflix series is that the book, there's mainly like one plot per book. And mentioning that, what I really loved about the series as a child and as an adult is that each book focuses on another girl in the club, and it's told in first person perspective from one of the girls. So for example, Marianne's book is told from Marianne's perspective. So we get to see things that happen, but Marianne's telling us about them, and you get to know more about like her wants, her wishes, her desires, her morals, her values, her family structure, and how she relates to each of the Babysitters Club members, and just like the club in general and stuff like that. And each book, like Christy's book, obviously the first one, you get to see Christy's perspective and, you know, her side of things, since it was like her club idea and stuff like that. So, but in the Netflix series, they definitely tackle, I don't want to say like tougher issues, because I don't think that we have to level different issues and stuff like that, but like they tackle multiple issues in one episode, and there's multiple things brought up, and I just think it's really well done. There's LGBT representation, there's people of color represented, and I just love it so much. That's all for today's video. I just wanted to say thank you so much for joining me. I hope you're all having a lovely day or night, and I'll see you guys again soon. Bye.